Welcome to Fursati Podcast, where we bring you insightful conversations with successful business leaders, educators, and entrepreneurs in the MENA region. I'm your host, Nadia Abdallah, the Chief Education Officer here at INJAZ Al Arab. And today we have a very special guest who is deeply connected to the roots of entrepreneurship in the MENA region. Joining us today is Saji Khoury, the Business Development Manager at CCC, who will be sharing with us the inspiring story of his family's entrepreneurship journey. Saji, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you very much, Nadia, for having me. I'm very excited to be with you today.
Thanks, Saji, and we're extremely excited to have you as well. So let's get right into it. I think everyone is interested in knowing the story and the history behind CCC, because CCC is a household name in the region, but many might not know the story behind it. Can you tell us how this incredible journey began and how a single entrepreneurial idea turned into the massive success that CCC is today?
Sure. So it all started with my grandfather, Saji Khoury, who was born in Safad to a prominent family involved in the fishery and agriculture business. My grandfather and his cousin, Hasib Sabah, who had both already studied civil engineering at the American University of Beirut, decided to start CCC, a construction company, in 1952. They were assisted by a third partner, Kamal Abdulrahman, who was already an established businessman at that time. My grandfather often shared how he started his entrepreneurial journey because he couldn't bear to see his father, Tawfiq Khoury, a respected and proud figure in his community back home, be so devastated. In the early years of the company, my grandfather lived and worked in the harsh conditions of the desert to provide for his father. He would take out loans and give his father blank checks so his father could still feel important. So CCC's first project was a pipeline from Iraq to Syria to Lebanon that Bechtel, the American company, was undertaking. My grandfather and his cousin demonstrated their hard work to Bechtel, and once the project was completed, Bechtel invited them to join them on a refinery project in Yemen. By the 1960s, my grandfather was primarily based in Kuwait, where my father and his siblings grew up. By then, CCC had become a major general contractor. My grandparents had some of their best memories in Kuwait, but unfortunately in 1990, they had to move again. This time they moved to Athens, and that's where our head office is today. So by the 2000s, CCC became one of the largest construction companies in the world, with over 150,000 employees and having completed projects in over 57 countries. We work in all sectors, including oil and gas, power, infrastructure, and renewables. Some of our iconic projects include the Dubai Mall, the Dubai Opera, and the Presidential Palace in Abu Dhabi. We also build 25% of all the LNG refineries in the world. We're currently completing a portion of the Riyadh Metro with our partners Bechtel, Al Mabani, and Siemens. We're also building the world's largest LNG trains in Qatar in partnership with Technip and Chiyoda. As an industry leader, we're proud to be at the forefront of the energy transition as well. We're building the world's largest green ammonia plant in Neom in Saudi Arabia for air products, and the largest blue ammonia plant in the world, Kafka 7, with ThyssenKrupp in Qatar.
Wow, thank you for that, Saji. I mean, you mentioned moving, hardships, and that really leads to your huge success as an organization. And your story is inspirational to not only people in the MENA region, but also on a global level. It's a truly inspiring journey, and I'm sure that our listeners will draw motivation from it. So speaking of motivation and inspiration, what message do you have for the young individuals in the Arab world who aspire to become entrepreneurs or leaders in their chosen fields?
My main advice would be find what you're passionate about. Everyone has a talent. For some, it's managing balance sheets. For others, it's creating content. The key is to discover that passion within you that sets you on the right path. Identify what you enjoy, what you do best, and excel in that area. Look for what ignites a spark in you or triggers your emotions. Our actions are driven by our emotions. Without passion, success is unlikely. If you're unsure about your passion, think about what used to fascinate you in your younger years, before life's conditioning and before people told you what to do. Your passion is likely connected to that. Also, having a purpose is crucial. It's that feeling that you're part of something bigger than you, that you are needed and you have something worthwhile to strive for. Purpose brings true happiness. People are often motivated by purpose more than by monetary gain. Most successful people actually are motivated by purpose more than money. Take my grandfather as example. In the early days of the company, his primary concern was providing for his father and later for the CCC family. Most of our employees come from the Middle East, a region that has unfortunately experienced its fair share of instabilities. They relied on CCC to provide for their families back home. CCC became their second home. It was this strong sense of purpose that drove my grandfather to work until his passing at the age of 91 in 2014. Another lesson from CCC is that reinventing the wheel isn't necessary for success. Figures like Mark Zuckerberg and Steve Jobs are celebrated for their inventions, but revolutionary ideas aren't required for success. CCC's early success was partly due to our partnership with Bechtel, the American construction giant. We learned industry best practices from them, which we then applied across the Middle East. Having the right skill is vital, but so is having the vision and the courage to embark on an entrepreneurial journey. I recall my grandfather often saying, "When there is a will, there is a way." My grandfather also believed that luck played a role in his success, along with talent and perseverance, of course. As a man of faith, he thought that luck wasn't just a coincidence. If you do good, good will come back to you.
Wow, wise words, Saji. I mean, learning from experience, building a strategy, and then passion being at its core is extremely important. And I really appreciate the detail and the amount of information that you're providing to our audience. So moving on to another crucial topic, Saji, employability in this region. How do you see the future of employability in MENA, and what role can the private sector, like CCC, play in shaping it?
The MENA region is going through a youth bulge, which happens when the youth population makes up a disproportionate large percentage of the population. However, despite having one of the world's largest youth population, the MENA also has a very high unemployment rate, averaging about 26% across the region. The MENA's high youth unemployment rate is more than just a statistic. It reflects wasted resources and unfulfilled aspirations. Young people are the driving force for innovation and economic growth, so they need to be offered an environment to thrive to ensure the region's socioeconomic stability and growth. The potential of the youth in MENA is immense. Lack of talent isn't the problem, but the lack of opportunity is. This energetic and talented demographic holds the key to addressing many of the region's challenges. They are more tech-savvy than older generations and are more adaptable to the rapidly changing global landscape. Also, young minds bring fresh perspectives and solutions. However, not all countries in the regions are facing challenging and boosting employment. Take Saudi Arabia and the UAE, for example. These countries are applying great new employment strategies. They're diversifying their economies away from oil, they're investing in cutting-edge innovation hubs, and reshaping education to meet the needs of today's job market. The shift towards a diverse economy is opening a whole world of job opportunities for the young people in the region. The Emiratization policy is showing promising results as well. In 2003 alone, over 50,000 Emiratis joined the private sector. Meanwhile, Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030 is also a game changer. It's all about reducing youth unemployment by fueling private sector growth, sparking an entrepreneurial spirit, ramping up vocational and technical training, and attracting investments in a whole array of new industries. This is not just progress, it's transformation, paving the way for a brighter future for the youth in the region. Additionally, the UAE and Qatar are striving to become international education centers by drawing in well-regarded institutions to set up schools and colleges. This is a side note, but CCC takes pride in having constructed many educational institutions. For example, we built the Carnegie Mellon University in Qatar and the Faculty of Islamic Studies. We've also been involved in the construction of Princess Noura University for Women in Riyadh and Al Alamein University in Egypt. We've also built hospitals with research centers, for example, the King Hussein Cancer Center in Amman and the Sidra Hospital in Qatar. Now moving to the construction industry, which is my main areas of expertise. The outlook for the construction sector in the MENA region is very positive. The market is experiencing rapid growth with many projects underway. However, there's a significant skill shortage and the number of people entering the industry falls short of the rising demand. There's a global shortage of engineers, not just in the Middle East, but all over the world. So for the young people listening who are still undecided about their career path, I strongly recommend studying engineering. So now moving on to the construction industry, which is my main area of expertise. The outlook for the construction sector in the MENA region is extremely positive. The market is experiencing rapid growth with many projects underway. However, there is a significant skill shortage as the number of people entering the industry falls short of the rising demands. There's a global shortage of engineers, not just in the Middle East, but all over the world. So for the young people listening who are still undecided about their career path, I strongly recommend studying engineering. To achieve the world's net zero targets by 2050, we'll need many more engineers, especially ones specializing in renewables and sustainability. Even if you decide later that engineering isn't for you, studying it teaches you discipline, critical thinking, and provides a solid foundation no matter what field of work you decide to pursue. With many fast-track projects in the Gulf that have tight deadlines and high client expectations, companies often lack the time for training and end up hiring experienced expats from the West for top positions. CCC has been a pioneer in providing the necessary training and development to its staff at various levels, as we see our employees to be our prime assets, and developing them is key to retaining the best of them. For example, we have a graduate under development program, a program designed for fresh graduate engineers from prime universities who within 2 years of orientation and rotation among various functions are expected to integrate into our system and follow a regular employment program. In fact, many of the company's today's leaders and executives started as GEDs in CCC. In 2024, CCC is going to take about 50 new GEDs. Additionally, we offer in-house webinars and online courses covering a wide range of technical and soft skills. These courses are crafted by experts based on their real-life experience and lessons learned from CCC projects. We cover topics such as project management, risk management, quality, and project controls. Our webinars also cover vital soft skills like critical problem solving, emotional intelligence, negotiation skills, and leadership. We're also proud to have a technical trade training program with over 300 Saudi nationals enrolled. This outsourced program provides technical training in the fields of piping, pipe fitting, electricity, and instrumentation for a year. Upon the successful completion of the training, these Saudi nationals will be able to join our projects in the kingdom.
Saji, thank you so much. I mean, unemployment and lack of opportunity is really something that we tackle as well here at INJAZ with youth. We've been around for over 20 years now, and that is really the bread and butter of INJAZ Al Arab. So I'm happy that there are a lot of synergies between CCC and INJAZ. And, you know, as you said, regional transformation is key in tackling these important issues. And it is actually amazing to see and learn about your GUD and other professional development sessions that you offer for your youth and even for your employees. Thank you for sharing that. It's really wonderful, the commitment that you and your organization have to the community. Saji, before we wrap up, is there any specific program or initiative at CCC that you'd like to highlight? One that embodies your vision for giving back? Please share.
Social corporate responsibility has been at the heart of CCC since day one. Our founders believe that we are merely guests in the countries where we operate, and since these communities welcomed us with open arms, it's important to give back to them. Therefore, we have CSR activities in all countries where we operate. To highlight one in particular, we recently won the International Pipeline Association's Award, sponsored by Total, for providing training to over 400 women farmers in Egypt. Egypt's economy is heavily dependent on agriculture, and about 25% of women are unemployed. Therefore, investing in female farmers was a compelling reason to embark on a project for building resilience and self-reliance among women farmers in Upper Egypt. A few years ago, we started CCC Startups, an initiative I'm very involved in. We offer startups the opportunity to test their products at one of our construction sites, providing them with our vast experience and our industry experts' knowledge to advance their technologies and guide them. This collaborative approach allows the startups to pilot their technologies in different locations and live environments on a large scale. It also allows us, as CCC, to be at the forefront of technological advancements in construction, an industry known for its resilience to change. After successful pilots, we developed strategic partnerships with these startups at various life cycle stages, thus bridging the gap by offering the domain and market knowledge needed. I'm proud to say that we have had successful stories in the fields of 3D printing, additive manufacturing, artificial intelligence, and virtual reality. So if you have a startup that relates to construction, feel free to reach out through CCC's website.
I think it's amazing that you have this startup initiative. In my experience here at INJAZ and as an educator for over 15 years, I have seen the need for such initiatives, and I'm really happy to hear that CCC has this. It gives our youth, our students in the region, an opportunity to have the push that they need in order to thrive in such a demanding society. So thank you so much for sharing that fantastic initiative.
Thank you, Nadia. It's really been my pleasure.
Thanks, Saji. And to our listeners, thank you for tuning in to Fursati Podcast. Stay tuned for more inspiring conversations with influential voices from the MENA region as we continue to showcase success stories and valuable insights. This is Nadia Abdallah signing off. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and leave feedback for the podcast. We'll be back with more episodes soon, covering a range of topics that will continue to inspire and motivate the youth of the MENA region. Until next time, stay inspired, stay motivated, and keep pursuing your dreams. Goodbye, everyone.